This is some more research on the Pretendian Indian black people type of debate going online right now. I'm gonna just give you some facts. I already told you about a book to get that explains that all of these depictions right here are erroneous. And I'm gonna use a case study again. When you type Chief Indian, what you'll get is a Chief Indian like Osceola. You'll notice in a lot of these videos that they wear the traditional garbs, like the do-rag, right? That concept of a do-rag, that comes from Creek indigenous ancestry. But if you go through this man's genealogy, what you'll find out is that he only shares a half Creek mother, and the rest of his ancestry, I believe, is English or Scottish. So you'll be believing that this guy is a full-blooded Indian, but in reality, this man is not even he's not even half Indian. But again, that term doesn't really exist. It's a governmental construction. Fast forward to who actually paints these pictures. Of course, we get George Catlin. I just went over Charles Byrd King. But if you talk about George Catlin, what you have to understand is that he was widely criticized, specifically for portraying Native Americans through a white gaze, often reducing complexity cultures to romanticize stereotypical noble savage imagery while simultaneously exploiting his subjects for personal financial gain. However, also at the time, people did do a lot of wood engravings, so you'll see an actual picture of him getting captured at Fort Payne in 1837, and this is what he's depicting himself as. As you can see, he's a lot darker. And the whole idea with, depicting this part of history is that the propagandists, they always try to make it seem as these people were uncivilized, noble savages. Another painter a part of this misinformation campaign was John White. As you can see, this is how he initially depicted the original people. I guess they look like George Washington with a crossbow. Get shit like this, right? Which obviously has no basis in reality. The goal was to depict them like idolaters so that could make it easy for them to rationalize, doing whatever they wanted to do with these people. But interestingly enough, you'll always find some evidence that, something's off. As you can see here on this effigy pipe, they're depicting a guy with a hairline. You see, they'll tell you about the Creeks, but they won't tell you about the Tuskegee, the Alibi, the Eufaula, the Coasati, the Alabamu, the Tallapoosa, the Coosa, the Abaca. They won't tell you about the thousands of mound sites they found all throughout just Alabama.